Keith Craig Harris, Grade Army second class, United States Navy. I was going to school, going to college, and I went right out of high school with no break. And it just, after about 17 straight months of schooling, it just was overwhelming. I had an argument with an English lit teacher, turning in a term paper before it was due, because she decided she wanted to go on vacation. I was a procrastinator. And one thing led to another, so I quit college. And I drove over, and Navy recruiter walked in before the Marine Corps recruiter, and I joined the United States Navy. I went in on a delayed program, and that program to me was 19 days instead of 6 months. Boarded the bus, or he drove me to St. Louis, to Affy's, and enlisted and boarded the bus and off to Great Lakes for boot camp. I was in Company 260. We were called the Cardinal Company. It was made up of guys from Southern Illinois and Southeast Missouri. That's what they called us, Cardinal Company. Chicago had a company up there that they called Cubs Company. And it was just a friendly rivalry, see who could do what. We went through our boot and everything. We ended up being called a company at graduation, which was real nice. We had every flag that they give at boot camp that you can get, and most of them we had anywhere between 3 and every one of them. The only one we could not get was the I flag. The I flag is intelligence. We got everything else, so we still graduated color company. If we'd have had one I flag, we'd have graduated gold in the company. And apparently at the time they told us we would have graduated at White House. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea, but still a good story. It's a memory. From boot camp, went to EE&E school at Great Lakes, and then went to Red Army School at Great Lakes. Left there in April of '68. Was sent aboard the USS John R. Perry, DE 1034, home ported out of Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. Just a big old ship. It did. I wonder why there was no armament. We had one 3-inch 50 mounted on the bow, and we had 2 torpedo tubes, port and starboard, and that was the only armament we had. So that, yeah, it kind of set me back a little bit about what the Navy was like. You know, it's like, wow, I thought destroyers, because I didn't really know what a destroyer escort was. I just figured it was a destroyer, and with no weapons on it, it's no. I went on board as a E2 and worked my way up through E4 while on board. We cruised the Pacific and South Pacific, tracked the Russians. We were basically a snoop ship. The John R. Perry was in the McMorris class destroyer escorts. We run the Indian Ocean, tracking Russians. We've been to, we went to Africa for a week for something while we was in the Indian Ocean in Madagascar, but sailed all over the Indian Ocean, went into Diego Garcia, scouted out Diego Garcia so the Navy could build a naval air station there, which they did. And we were the second ship in there since World War II, and we relieved our sister ship. I believe it was the McMorris that we relieved. Just took soundings and pictures and sonar depths and whatever they could take in that. Continued sailing the Pacific or Indian Ocean. We would moor and port out of Mauritius, it's an island out in the Indian Ocean. Fun times were whenever you got Liberty, went over, and you'd have a United States warship moored, and then maybe 2 berths over, you would have a Russian man of war. Well, not man of war, it was a radar. Snoop ship is what they were. They were covered with all kinds of radars. One incident we were in at one time, and a red Chinese, big, looked like a freighter, but it was a red Chinese ship, pulled in and moored behind us. Had a great big picture that had to be 80 foot high, 80 foot wide of Mao Zedong, painted on the whole front of the conning tower on it. And on Liberty launch, it was funny to sit over and be drinking with the Russians and with the red Chinese at the time.